Hi, fifth grade friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to your math lesson with Mrs. Smith. Before we get started with the rest of our lesson today, we're going to go for a quick review about what you did yesterday with Miss Araya and what your work should look like in your student book. Before we dive into the lesson, I want to make sure you have the materials that you need to be successful today. So please make sure you have your yellow student book and something to write with. Once you have those things, if you need to go get them, go ahead and pause the video right now. And once you're ready, you can start it back up. Okay, great. So you should all have your yellow student book. I want to have you open it to page 209. You'll see that my screen up here is on page 209. And these are the short and tall towers that you made yesterday. So I just wanted to take a second and look back and kind of reflect on what you noticed about those towers. So you were asked to do arrangements, or you did arrangements 1 and 2 yesterday with Mrs. Araya, and you were supposed to finish 3, 4, and 5. Did you notice any patterns as you were going into those 2 that didn't even have any blocks or cubes that were showing there? I noticed as I looked from arrangement 1 to arrangement 2, we added 5 cubes. Then from arrangement 2 to arrangement 3, we added 5 cubes again. So then I knew for arrangement 4, I had to add 5 cubes. And arrangement 5, I had to add 5 more cubes. That's shown when we come down to our ordered pair right here, number 2. I'm going to scroll down to number 3 and 4. What did you notice about these tall towers now? Well, I took a look at arrangement 1 and I saw that there was 2. Arrangement number 2 had 7 cubes. Arrangement number 3 had 12. That was going up by 5 again this time too. So I can see that arrangement 4, there would be 17 cubes, and in arrangement 5, there would be 22 cubes. Did you notice that too? Let's check out how that graph looked. So you're going to turn your page or turn your attention to the next page, 210, and the graph that you made of those points of the ordered pairs. Now, again, we just want to think about what did we notice? We used the dot for our short towers, like Miss Araya told us to, and the X's for the tall towers. So I'm going to first look at my short towers here, the dots. One thing I noticed is that they're in a straight line, so they went up every single time. Let's take a look at those tall towers. Look at our X's now. Well, I noticed they're in a straight line too. So now if we compare these two sets of information, the short towers and the tall towers, do you notice anything about the graph? Think about it for a second. One thing I noticed is that those dots are really close together. When I was writing them on my screen, I know I had to get really close and try really careful so that I was sure that I made them on the right spots. Why would they be so close together? Let's look at the information. If I look here, the number of cubes is only 1 more in the tall tower than the short tower on each one of our ordered pairs. And every time we increase on that graph, we notice that there's only 1 more cube in the tall tower than the short tower. Some interesting information. I hope you caught that too. All right. Switching gears, changing over to our lesson of the day, which we're going to continue practicing getting information from those different arrangements and then making ordered pairs from the information and graphing the ordered pairs from 2 different sets of information. Right now, you're going to go and turn to page 212. I'm switching over to my page 212. Got it? Everyone here? All right. On page 212, we're going to look at the directions for number 1. It tells us, here are the first 5 arrangements in the tile pool sequence. In the box below each arrangement, write the number of gray tiles it took to build the border for each. I'm going to underline the word gray here because I think that's something important. We want to make sure we're only focusing on those gray tiles to begin with. So as we're here, just like you did yesterday and with your other arrangements, we're going to take arrangement number 1. We're going to count up those gray tiles. I see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So under arrangement number 1, I'm going to write my 8. Let's take a look at arrangement number 2. I'm going to look at those gray tiles and count them up. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tiles. So let's write our 12 underneath arrangement number 2. Awesome. I'm going to jump down to question number 2, where we're writing the ordered pair to represent that information. So in each of our ordered pairs, our first number is that X number. It's also in these ordered pairs, that's our arrangement number. And then the second number is our Y. And in these pairs, it's the gray or those borders. So for arrangement number 1, my ordered pair is 1. And then that Y value is an 8 because that's how many gray tiles there were. For arrangement number 2, our X value is 2 for arrangement 2. And our Y value is 12 for those 12 gray tiles. Now today, what I'd like you to do is when I let you know, I'm going to have you pause this video and finish completing arrangements 3, 4, and 5, both filling in the number of gray tiles and writing the ordered pair for each. Go ahead and do that now. All right, welcome back. You should have finished all of number 1 and number 2. We're going to move down to number 3 and 4. Now we make sure we read the directions really carefully because number 3 looks the same. All of those arrangements look just like they did in the first one. So let's read the directions. It says, here's another picture of the first 5 arrangements in the tile pool sequence. In the box below each arrangement, write the number of white tiles it took to build the water. Well, good. Now we're looking at how many white tiles there are in each of those arrangements. So let's come down to arrangement 1 right here. Where's the white tile? There's only one. It's right in the middle. So we're going to come down and write a number 1 underneath our arrangement. Let's take a look at arrangement number 2. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 white tiles in arrangement number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and write a number 4 underneath arrangement number 2. Let's jump down again to number 4. We're writing an ordered pair to represent that information that we just got. So in arrangement number 1, our X value is that 1, and our Y value is also 1 because there was only one white tile. In arrangement 2, our X is a 2 for our arrangement, and then the Y value is a 4 for those 4 white tiles in the center. Okay, here's your task again. Pause the video and complete both the number of white tiles and the ordered pairs for number 3 and 4. Go ahead. All right, we're all back together. With all the information where you are right now, you should have page 212 completely finished. If not, take a little bit more time, pause that video again, and finish up writing all of your numbers and ordered pairs down. If you are finished, we're going to look at the next page, which is page 213. This is where we are graphing the ordered pairs that we found on the previous page. I'm going to use those same keys that you all did yesterday. So for the pool border, I'm going to make a dot. Here we go. The pool border, I'm going to make a dot. And for that pool water, we're going to have an X to represent that. Remember, every time we are looking at a graph, we have our X and Y axis. So our up and down is our Y. And scroll down here. Our side to side is our X. All right, time to graph, friends. In in our pool border, the first ordered pair was 1, 8. Whenever we're graphing those ordered pairs, what I want you to do, what helps me, is to always start at the 0. Well, if we start at that 0, then we know we're moving over first with our X and then up to make our point. So I'm going to start at my 0, and then my ordered pair is 1, 8. So that means I'm going to move over 1, and then I'm going to go up 8. That's where I'm going to mark my first point for for the pool border. My second arrangement, the ordered pair was 2, 12. So I'm going to again start at my 0. I'm going to go over 2, then I'm going to go up to that 12, and I'm going to put my dot right there where 212 is. We move on to our second set of data, that pool water. The first point that I need to put on my graph is 1, 1. I'm going to start at my 0. I'm going to go over 1, and there isn't a labeled 1, so I need to make my mark halfway between the 0 and the 2. Remember, we're using an X to show that pool water, so I'm going to put my little X right there on 1, 1. Then our second ordered pair is 2, 4. So starting at my 0, I'm going to go over 2, and I'm going to go up to 4. Here's where I'm going to put my second little X. Awesome. I'm hoping you are following along. If at any point you need to pause the video, you can always do that. Your job now is to finish graphing on page 213. Those will be the rest of your coordinate points that you've done from 213. Then your next assignment is to do pages 214 and 215 in your student book. As you're looking at the questions on 214 and 215, you're going to be asked information about what happens after the information that was given to you. So maybe what would happen in arrangement number 10 or further on from there. So use what you've learned and make sure, just like we did from yesterday's information, that you're looking at how much is that going up or increasing by each time we move from one arrangement to the next. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson today. Have a great rest of your Friday and enjoy spring break. Bye.